Hi everybody, welcome to Wool and Wine, episode 44. I'm Tammi.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Janet.
And welcome back to our knitting podcast. And if you're new, we're super happy to have you, and be sure you like and subscribe. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We're recording here in Bellbrook. I'm always thinking filming. So
Her husband has corrected her.
Yeah.
It's not filming.
So it's a south suburb of Dayton, Ohio. And we have a little warm spell going on. Today's the high of 92 degrees. So,
Yeah, and humid.
woo, it's a little warm.
Yeah.
It's good for our summer knits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we have just a smidge of housekeeping to talk about. We haven't done this before, but we're so excited that we're actually going to start a knit along, right?
Yeah.
Woo! And it starts today, but you won't see this till tomorrow. So actually for you, it starts yesterday. Okay, well that
Or it
was
starts
good.
whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready. So it's the Letho by Natasja Hornby, and here's the picture of it. And so we are so excited. We're all going to knit it, and we have decided that we're going to do it from August 6th through December 6th. So you have plenty of time. And right now we have the chatter thread, so you can post your pictures, talk about what yarn you're using, and just your progress along the way, because we're so excited to see that. And then when it gets a little bit closer to time for people to actually start finishing, we'll create a finished object thread. So the group that what is it called? It's under the community tab, and I think it's under group then. It is Wool and Wine, and it'll look like it only has my picture because we don't have a Wool and Wine account because there are 3 of us. We have individual Ravelry accounts, and so there's the one out there that is, I created it so I could figure out how to do it, and then I couldn't undo it. So I hope I've got all the information out there. But bottom line is, if you've already started, feel free. Jump in. We don't care if it's a whip or whatever. And yes, there absolutely will be a prize at the end. We're not quite sure what the prize is. We've got a little bit of time to figure it out. And so we're going to also do this through Instagram. So the Instagram hashtag will be on the screen. And we'll also put that, of course, in the show notes. There'll be a link to that Ravelry group in the show notes as well. And I'm trying to think if is there anything else we need to say about it?
I don't think so. Can you think of anything, Jen?
Well, the 3 of us will be individual members on there.
Yeah.
So
we'll all be out there looking.
You'll see us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we'll all be checking in.
Responding, all the things.
Yep. I don't even know if there's more. If along the way today, if we think about it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, before we get started, cheers.
Yum. And it's an orange.
That's a delicious rosé. Yum, yum. Okay. Well, so you want to talk about what you're wearing?
I sure can. So this is the Be Beautiful by PetiteKnit, and I think Janet, in the last episode, did you wear it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Last
So,
episode.
When she made hers, I just loved it, so I said I have to make it. And so I made it out of Cascade Ultra Pima in the colorway Teal 3734. And
Love it.
yeah, I really like it. I didn't know if this color was good for me, but it doesn't matter.
I
like
think it
It
is.
does look
I
good
think it
for-
looks
on
really
you.
good on
It
you.
looks
Yeah.
great on you.
Yeah, so, oh yeah, and there is video. Sorry. And then here, I'll give you a little look of the, I don't know if you can see that, but maybe you can see it in the video. But on the back, I have my bees.
Oh yeah, you can see them in the
Uh-huh.
showing.
Having
Beautiful.
short hair, I can do that. And I thought about putting them on the sleeves, but my sleeves were a little bit short and I didn't want them any longer.
Yeah.
So
For summertime, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful.
yeah. So,
And it is your color.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks
So
really
pretty.
good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it makes
Awesome.
your eyes look blue. I don't even.
My eyes are blue.
Well, it makes them look blue, or it makes them look like this kind of blue.
Oh, that's a cool color.
Yeah, it like reflects into them.
Yeah, let's see what else. Oh, and I made the size 45. And it's an easy pattern. I think it'd be good for a beginner. I mean, you don't even do ribbing, except down here. This might
At the
at the
that's
bottom.
really beautiful.
Yeah, I do.
It's a
little lace work.
really pretty
Yeah.
lace. So easy peasy.
Yeah, Pia has some beautiful patterns.
She does, yeah.
She's got quite a few too. That's there's
Yeah.
a lot out there that are really great.
Yeah,
so.
she does. Yeah, there's a couple that I'm looking at.
Yeah. All right. Any modifications other than
No, I didn't know about
No modifications.
None.
Nada.
Not a thing.
All right. What are you wearing, Janet?
I'm wearing the Summer News by Elizabeth Judith. And here's the video. And here's just a little close up. So the yarn that I used is the Hornby Rainbow Bamboo in the colorway Copper, number 30. And it was a lot of fun to work with that yarn, and I really like it. So
Yeah.
very, very happy with it. I made this last year, I think it was, last summer. And
I love the color on you.
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, it's so fun to do all the little patterns. So like when you get one section done, you can't wait to get to the next one and the next
Yeah.
one. And so it's a fun
Keeps you
knit.
going.
Yeah.
Very lightweight, very good for this time of year when it's
Yeah.
really warm out.
That rainbow bamboo. Oh my gosh, it's like cool to the touch.
Yeah, really cool, really soft, just lovely. I highly recommend the pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. And it is fun because I've knit that too. So, yeah, I don't know if Tammy, have you knit it?
I did. I knitted it just this summer, and
Oh.
I used linen, Amarisu,
I couldn't remember.
something linen, and it's not too far from that color. It's kind of like a faded barn red,
Oh, yeah.
and yours is kind of like a faded terracotta color, right? So it's like that just dusty, I guess maybe dusty terracotta is a better term for it. But man, it's beautiful.
It is.
I love a good
Thank
sampler
you.
sweater.
Yes,
Yeah, I do
I do
too.
too.
That one would be cute in, so it's DK weight, right?
Is it
Sport
sport?
or
I
DK?
think
No,
it's
I think it was DK.
DK. Okay.
So you could do
Because
that.
I think this, I don't know if this is a sport or a DK
I can't
yarn,
remember.
but either way,
Yeah.
as long
Well,
as you get gauge.
mine was DK. I can't remember the gauge.
I held
makes
that
the difference.
Amarisu,
Right, I don't remember the
Amarisu
gauge.
double. So anyway, that would be really
So-
good as a winter long sleeve
Yes.
sweater because you could just keep doing the pattern all the way down.
You
True.
could.
Follow the body. Yeah.
True, yeah. So this was like a medium size, and I think that's about it. I made it to pattern.
It's beautiful.
It is.
You look
So
pretty.
thank you. Oh, so
All
what
right,
are you wearing,
Tammy.
Tammy?
Okay, so I am taking one for the team today and wearing a heavy cardigan that is really more outdoor wear. We had to turn the air conditioning down here because I was getting a little too hot. But this is the Letho by Natasja Hornby. And then here's the video. So I went ahead and did one, and I'm doing another. So just so you know. So I'll give you, like, it just, gosh, it's so stinking cute with jeans. I can't even. Brioche, but super easy, you guys. Don't be freaked out about it. This was my first brioche project that I actually remember doing. Claudia and I did one a long time ago. So the collar is brioche and the cuffs are brioche. This is in the round, and of course the collar, this part is flat, and then she finishes it with I-cord. But I mean, come on. What's not to love? Mm-hmm. It is so well written. It is so, I mean, everything about it I think is great. It's going to be good over top of pretty much anything. Like, I picture a turtleneck, long sleeve turtleneck in the wintertime, and this being my coat.
Yeah.
You know?
Beautiful.
Because it's that warm. So I will show you the yarns that I used. I only have a nubbin of the background or the main color, but this is Donegal Studio Soft Donegal, and I always weigh them at the end if I've got any left over and write how many grams are left. So this took me, I had 6 balls of Studio Donegal, and this is worsted weight, and I have an entire ball left over and 22 grams of this. I knit the size 42.5, so that's a little bit of a lie because I thought I was going to knit, what was the next size up?
46.
46 or 7, yeah.
Yeah,
46.
So I cast on for the 46, and then I got a little nervous because I wasn't sure if it was going to be long enough. I'm kind of short-waisted, so I will tell you where it tells you to cast on under here. If you're taller than 5'4" and you want it to be below, like below mid-hip, you're probably going to want to cast on more stitches because this is knit sideways. And yeah.
Right, but I'm 5'4" also, and
Longer
I'm
waisted.
regular. I'm more average waisted.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to need to make mine a little longer than that. So I'm
Yeah.
going to add some more stitches.
That's me too.
Yeah,
Me
so
too.
it's your stitch gauge that will determine the length of this, because after you knit the sleeve in the round, she has you cast on some extra stitches right here, and then you do this really cool crochet chain cast on for a number of stitches, and then you're literally knitting up and over and purling back and over, and you do that until you get to shoulder distance, and then there are some short rows before you do the 3 welts here in the front. So the other 2 colors that I used are these, and look how much is left on these. I mean, I think I used 37 grams of one. So I have 71 grams of the red left over.
And that was the Donegal.
They're all soft Donegal.
Donegal.
Soft Donegal. Yeah. And I have, of the dark gray or the charcoal color, actually 79 grams left over. So Terry, one of our girlfriends, is going to do the knit along, and she wants to do it exactly like the one I have on. And so I'm just going to give her these and let her use what she needs, and then she can give them back to me afterwards, because I know it's only going to be, you know, like 39 and some 30 some grams of those. So, anyway, that is what I'm wearing, and it's also a finish.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo. So do we have some time left on the...
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Okay. You want to... Oh yeah, you've got plenty of time to go ahead with yours.
Okay, so finally, I'm so excited. I finally finished my Pressed Flowers cardigan by Aimee Christoffers. And here's a video. And so I knit the size 50, thinking I had my gauge at 23 instead of 24, because their sizing, you know, I'm always sometimes in between sizes, and I don't, you know. So anyway, long story short, my gauge ended up being 22 instead of 23, so it was too big. And so I ended up, here, I'll show you here how I did it, because I was going to steek part of it, and then as I got further into it, we talked about I could just pick up stitches and roll the edge over, and if I can ever get these buttons undone.
Those buttons are
You
beautiful.
put the buttons on really nicely.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing, okay, so here's the whole sweater. Oh, in its glory. I just love the way it turned out. But so like I said, when it was going to be too big and I needed to take off about 1.5 inches on each side, so I knit it all the way up to where your first decrease is for your V-neck, and then I cast these off, bind them off, so that when I picked up for the button band, I just folded it over, and I really like it that way.
I think you have the best finished button band of anybody who's ever knit it.
And it's, you know, and I did tack it down so it's not flopping around, but I was afraid it was going to be too bulky, but it's not.
Can't even tell.
No.
It's really
No,
pretty.
you cannot tell. And that looks so cool. If the wind flips it open, it looks so finished on the inside.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, so that's what I did. And then after I blocked it, it kind of stretched a little bit. So the sleeves were too long. And so I was going to show you this. I know we've talked about this before. I use this little, it's a elastic thread. I mean, look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but it's just really stretchy. I don't know why it doesn't break. It just,
It doesn't.
it's amazing. It's amazing.
You almost can't break it.
Yeah. So I used this, and I did that on the cuffs, and you really can't really tell that it's there. Well, right here it is. No, that's just stuff. So it made it come in a little bit so it doesn't hang down too far on my hands.
So did you put it at the end and then up at the top of the cuff as well?
Yes, I did it both places, here and up here.
Perfect.
Huh.
Yeah, and then I didn't like the way, I really don't like my bottom to be too loose. And so I ended up having to do the same thing on the
Bottom ribbon?
ribbing. So it comes in a little bit. I didn't need it to come in a lot, just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about that is you can thread it through and you tie it onto something at one end and thread it through, and you can pull it as tight as you want it and just keep trying it until you get it where you want it, and then tie it off on the other end. And
Right.
you can weave it in just like yarn, and
Yeah.
it doesn't show.
And I'm trying to see,
Didn't we buy that from Hobie?
I think
Hobie
so,
website?
Prym, is that the brand?
Yeah.
Prim. Okay, it says strict elastic knitting in elastic. So It wasn't very much. It was pretty cheap.
I
so-
think $2 or $3 or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's well worth it. And some of our friends have sweaters with necklines that are too wide, and they put that in there, and it helps hold it up. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. So let's see. So other than that, I made no modifications. Although she did say something about on the front when you got to a certain point, you were supposed to just knit up and with this background pattern. And I just decided I'm a rebel, so I went ahead and put the flowers.
I think it looks
in.
so much better with the flowers on it. I've seen some podcasters do that where they stop doing the flowers at the top. I think it looks kind of odd.
Unfinished.
Yeah, it's like they
Something's wrong.
didn't know how to do it, so they just
Yeah.
went rogue. And you're the one that went rogue, and it looks perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry
so-
if you're one of those people.
Yeah, we don't want to insult anyone.
No.
It's just that's the way I wanted to do it.
Yeah,
And I'm happy with it.
It looks so pretty on you too.
Oh, thank you. And so that's one of my Rhinebeck sweaters.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So
So,
do you
Janet.
have a finish?
I do. My first finish is the Pressed Flowers Pullover by Aimee Christophers. And here's the video. And because Claudia finished hers, I had to make sure that I
Motivated you,
finished
huh?
mine as well.
That is so gorgeous.
So I did a slight fade on my sleeves towards the end. I thought it was kind of cool. So I did my sleeves. So I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it. Exactly the same. They may not quite match the sweater, but it's still,
Oh, it's really close.
it's still
yeah.
really close.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's
And it's finally done, and I'm so happy. I could not let Claudia have a finish and me not.
No competition.
No competition there. It's done. Woohoo!
That is so
excited. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
As
Very
you should
happy,
be. I love
so-
the colors too. Those are gorgeous colors.
Yeah, very colorful flowers.
Oh my
Purple
god.
background.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful.
And I can't think of any modifications. Here's the little tag inside. Ready for Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yay.
Are you going to talk about the yarn, or did you while I was laughing?
Oh,
Oh yeah, I didn't talk about
no, I
mine
did
either.
not. Okay, so the main body is the Kellen Woolens Scout.
Kelborn.
Kelborn Woolen Scout. And the colorway in that is the Mulberry Heather. And then for the top part of the sweater, I used the Yarn Hero Fiber Arts in the colorway Groovy.
And it was groovy.
It is.
And then I ran out of that, so then I used some of this Feederbrook Farms yarn, and this was the Entropy DK in colorway Freefall. And so it really
It worked perfect.
Very-
worked
Yes,
really
yeah.
well with the Yarn Hero.
Yeah, you can't tell where
You
one
can't
is.
tell. Yeah.
Yes, it just
It's
worked
perfect.
seamlessly throughout.
Yep.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
And she was so nervous about it.
Yeah, she wasn't sure
I
she
was,
liked it.
and it ended up being working out really well.
Yeah, that is just beautiful.
So, and I think it looks better. The whole sweater color combination looks better in person than it does on this camera for some reason.
It does. It's very stripy. Mine was too.
Yeah, and
But
I
it
just
looks-
I think
it looks better in person.
Yeah. Well, if
So-
you're at Rhinebeck, you'll be
Yeah.
able to see it
yeah,
in
what you
all of
think.
its glory.
exactly.
So,
Okay, I'll go stop. We still have 3 minutes.
okay. So in 3 minutes, I can do one. Alrighty. And we're saying that because we have to reset the camera and restart it every few minutes. So the neck, or every 20 some minutes. So the next one that I have, or my finish, is the Saoco, Saoco, by Thea Colman. And I didn't take videos because I just did some finished photos for her, so I'll put those up. And then this was a test, and I finished this quite a while ago. So this was, I started it on May 3rd and finished it on June 4th. And look at this gorgeous sweater. Oh my gosh. So you can see those beautiful twisted cables and all the cables on the back. So I did the size 46 in this, so it's very drop shoulder, and I did it exactly to pattern, except when I picked up stitches, let me see if I can, yeah, when I picked up stitches for the sleeves, I didn't like how it came into this reverse stockinette right here. There was like 2 reverse stockinette stitches for the size I did. So when it was all finished, I used a crochet hook and just put a chain, started at the underarm and chained up and over into the stitch that I picked up in, and I did that on the other side as well. And so you could do that on any sweater. Mm-hmm. And it makes it look like a knit stitch, like I picked up into a knit stitch instead of the reverse stockinette. There was just something funny about, maybe it was the way I picked it up or something, I'm not even sure. But I knit this in wool, Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the colorway Dove Heather. And I love it. It's out there, it's available. I'm so glad to be able to talk about it. It'll be a little bit before we can wear these heavy sweaters because they're really, really nice and toasty warm. And of course I have my little tag in here as well. But I'm thrilled with it. Like all Baby Cocktails patterns, it was written so well. And the detailing on the shoulder is pretty amazing. Look at that gorgeousness. So I love it, and I'll be starting another test knit for her in the next week or so, and it'll probably be a secret as well. But I think I'll probably be showing that in just a few months.
Beautiful. I saw a test call from Thea Colman, and she had a picture of it on Instagram.
Oh yeah, the new one.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Is it her, the Rhinebeck sweater?
Oh, I don't know.
didn't think she said
I didn't think it
that.
was Rhinebeck. It was a test call.
Okay, well, it's gorgeous, and I'm going to be doing that one. So anyway, don't walk, run to get this pattern because it's that good. And it was very engaging the whole time. So, all right. And I did no modifications because it's a test knit, and I try to do that right exactly to pattern, except that part where I didn't like the way I picked up stitches. Okay, so do you have another finish?
I do not.
All right, Janet has another finish. I can see it.
Ah.
My next finish is the Midsummer Tea. And that is who? Good grief. Caitlin Hunter. Hello. Here's the video.
My lips are dry.
I'm working on a lot of Caitlin Hunter's patterns lately. And so here's what it looks like. Got the split hem, and it was a little bit more of a drop neck than what it shows in the picture, and I really like it this way. And split hem. So I made this pretty much to pattern. Definitely a little longer than what she had. Hers is more cropped, and I did long sleeves, the long sleeve version. And the yarn I used is the Cloudborn Fibers Highland Sport in the colorway Lagoon. And one of our viewers made a comment, and she said that it has the same exact yarn and the same exact color, and she was going to make this sweater, and it's really, I love it. So you definitely need to do it. I am so happy with this.
Yeah, and it looks really pretty on you too.
It does, yeah.
So I'm going to make another one with some cotton yarn that I had purchased. I talked about it in the last episode, so stay tuned on that.
That's a good idea. A
I
long
just
sleeve
love
cotton
it.
sweater. Yeah, that would be so great.
Yeah, it might be a short sleeve. I haven't decided yet, because with it being cotton and I make it a V-neck, it just might be short. So
So
we
was that
shall
top
see.
down or bottom up?
And this is a bottom up sweater.
Okay.
Yes, it is bottom up.
Wow. So the way she did those decreases on both sides of the
It looks really
neckline
good.
are so good. Or the
Yeah.
way you did your decreases that were in the pattern. It looks so
Yeah.
pretty like that. Yeah, and even on the sleeves I noticed, like where the decreases are.
Yeah.
It looks like it
very-
looks like a design element down
Right?
the sleeve. Yeah.
So just to show you kind of what it looks like.
It's so pretty on both sides. It like mirrors each other. It really looks good.
Good job.
Yeah, that is just
So what was the gauge on that? Do you remember?
12.
Yeah.
Of course I remember that one. 12 stitch gauge. I used a size 11 needle.
oh my.
US 11. So it was wonderful to work with. That's why I'm just itching to make another one.
You can get them done faster when they have that big a gauge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just really pleased with it.
Beautiful.
Caitlin Hunter, good
Yeah.
grief. I couldn't believe I couldn't
Well, you
remember
were
that at
probably
the time.
thinking of Boyland Knitworks too. You know,
Yes.
it's like it's hard to figure out which one you're supposed to call her because we know her by both names.
Right.
We do.
Okay, so my next finish is the Diamond Laine Vest by Beth MacDonald Stone. And again, I just, this was a test knit, so I styled it and took some photos that I posted on Ravelry with it styled. So I decided that that would be better than just putting it on today and doing a little twirl because it's from the front and the back. But anyway, here it is. I did the size 40. And it has this beautiful shoulder detail, and you can see the sparkle in it. The yarn I used was Audine Wool's Twinkle DK. And when I had exactly 2 skeins of the DK yarn, and I wasn't sure, oh, I have an end I still need to weave in. I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to eke this out in just those 2 skeins, even, you know, with the color work, because it's DK. But the good news is I'm short-waisted, and I have a really good scale that I bought from Amazon, and it goes down to like the, I think, 10th or 100th of a gram. And so I was able to figure out exactly how many rows that I could do until I got to the bottom. So I knew how long I could make it, how many more rows I could go of each thing. What I didn't realize, I don't change needle sizes for my ribbing, but it takes more yarn to do a stockinette row than it does to do a row of ribbing. So I bound off when I got to the number of rows that I knew I could get out of that. And as it turns out, I tinked back one whole round, and because I really wanted to know how much it was taking me, because I still had this much left. And it's only like 1.59 grams for one round in the 1x1 ribbing. So I am going to tink that back because it's very, I mean, I really did eke it out, but I can get 3 more rounds out of this little bit that's left, and this stuff is spit spliceable. So I'll tink back, do 3 more rounds, and then bind off, and it'll give me probably another 1/2 inch because, you know, it's a DK gauge. So I'm absolutely thrilled that I've got that little nubbin left, and I'm glad that I got to do this for her. If you ever have an opportunity to test knit for Beth MacDonald's stone, she's really a pleasure to deal with. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And I think this would be really, really cute as just a summer top. Like you could use any kind of, you know, summer weight cotton or cotton linen blend for this. So anyway, and she's got plenty of short rows, so if you have trouble, you know, with that back neck being high enough, this one will definitely be high enough for you. So
Yeah, to me that would be a summer top for sure.
yeah, so
But you could use it as a vest as well. But
yeah, you totally could. I
Both.
mean, that's what it's intended for, and that's how I styled it, because she called it a vest, but it would be such a great summer top in that right, you know. Now you're cold.
I got chilly. She turned the air conditioning
did.
on because she has a sweater, so she was cold.
Well,
so now,
yeah, you were hot.
I was hot at one point. I'm not anymore. I might be because this is a pretty warm sweater.
Yeah. So I have one more finish, and I will go ahead and talk about this one. So I didn't talk about the other yarn. I use Noro Kiri, Kiri, for this multicolored, the darker yarn here. And then the lighter color was Purl Soho Goodwool in Winter Grass. But all the details are on my Ravelry page. And I did talk about it in detail on our last episode, right? So, alrighty, the next one is the Cumulus Blouse by PetiteKnit. And then here's the video. I just love this. There's something about this that makes it so easy. It's just so good. Such a nice, easy to wear V-neck. It's so, the gauge is nice and big on it. I did this on a size 7 needle, and I think I did the sleeves on an 8. Yeah. Because round and round, sometimes on the small circumferences, I get a little tighter on my sleeve, so I sometimes go up a needle size, and I'm pretty sure I did here to get them even. Otherwise, these would have been a little narrower. But the I-cord, she gives you suggestions in the pattern, like, you know, tells you how many stitches to pick up for your I-cord. And if it looks like it's pulling in too much, go up a needle size. I mean, duh, but at least she tells you that, right? I did the decreases on this. Okay, I did no decreases on the sleeve, and I don't even know if it was in the pattern. I wanted them to just be kind of straight with the I-cord at the bottom, and I really like the way that fits. I think it's just a really nice blouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just easy to wear. The raglans were easy to do. You just do an increase on every row, every right side row, because of course you're knitting flat back and forth and doing your V-neck increases and so forth. I don't think I knitted exactly to pattern though. When it got to the point where the raglan was deep enough, and I try these things on. I bet I try a sweater on 6 times before it's done. But I try it on at least 2 times up here to make sure that I've got enough stitches or that it's not too big. And I decided it was time to stop. So I'm not really exactly sure what size I ended up with. Probably, so I was knitting the 43, but I bet it's more like a 40. That would be my guess. And so the yarn I used for this was Knitting for Olive Merino, and the colorway is Wild Berries, and I have, this is 46.5 grams left, so I had to break into 1 more ball, and honestly this stuff spit splices, so I didn't have ends, and I don't really, on my Ravelry page I've weighed it and it tells you exactly how much I've used. And then I held that together with the Purl Soho Tussock silk. And that colorway is Ripe Boysenberry. So
Those 2 colors are so pretty.
Yeah.
They
It just
are.
made a
Yep.
beautiful sweater.
I think there's enough of this left for a whole nother sweater.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had either 6 or 8 skeins. And I think that took just over 2, I think. I mean, these have, let me see, 250 meters to 50 grams. That can't be. It can't be 500 meters. Although it might be. I'll have to look. You can see that on my Ravelry page. It'll be linked. No worries. But I know that I have a lot of it left. And this, I barely, used any. I think this might have been my 3rd skein, and these are also, I think they're 25 grams.
grams,
Yeah, 328 yards to 25 grams. So if this was my 3rd skein and there's 15 grams left, then I did only use 2 and not quite a half of that one. So, all right, now we are on to whips.
Whips. I do have whips.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, so the Anjou, I hadn't worked on the Anjou at all because I wanted to get this finished. And so after I finished it, then I picked up sleeves. I haven't gotten real far, but this is the Anjou by Skeiny Dippin'. Skeiny Dippin'. I love that. That is so funny. So, some reason apparently I like to change gauge on sweaters because I did it on this one too. Because I think the gauge for the sweater is 18, and I think the size I knit it to was a 20 gauge. Because I did a swatch and I liked the way the fabric looked, and so then I ended up doing a size 50 in order to get the 47 or 48, whatever it is. So, there you go. And then there's the sleeve.
That was me.
And the yarns that I used, the light green is a Knit Picks Paragon in the colorway Topiary. And then the back, the other color is Utopia Helix DK in colorway Earth. And I got that at Rhinebeck last year, so I'm happy I'm using my Rhinebeck, some of my Rhinebeck yarn. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I have like yarn everywhere. So forgive all the
Something's
stuff
going
hanging
on the sleeve.
on.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So anyway, it's on its way, and I'm excited about it.
Yep. That looks really good.
Yeah, it's really, and I really love it on. It just fits nicely, and of course it's my colors, which really help. Yeah, let's see if I've done any, besides the size, I don't think I've done any modifications to it, so.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
can't wait to see that one done. That'll
Yeah.
probably be a Rhinebeck sweater if
It
you
can
finish
be,
it.
yeah. It all depends on how warm it is there. If it's warm,
Right.
I don't know. So,
Right. Oh boy. We weren't warm last year though, weren't we? Chilly because it was rainy.
Yeah, it was definitely
It was
rainy.
damp and rainy.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
yeah. So that's one of mine.
Okay, so my first whip is the Lighthouse Cardigan by Brandy Cheyenne Harper. And here's, let's see if I can get this so you can see it.
Oh my
Made
goodness.
some progress.
Wow, I'd say so.
So the last time I just had the sleeve on, so I'm working myself up into where it's starting to decrease up at the top.
Oh, nice.
So just to give you a feel for what it looks like, it's kind of a jumbled mess.
Very pretty.
But
Gorgeous.
anyway, I'd really like to get this done.
Well, it's not much longer now.
Tired of showing it each podcast.
You need to get that thing
So,
done and blocked and be wearing it
right?
next time.
I know.
Yeah.
So the yarn that I'm using is the Purl Soho Lantern, and the colorway in that is Horse Chestnut.
Pretty.
And it is a beautiful linen wrapped cotton yarn and worsted weight. So it's going to make a really nice fall sweater in spring. And
You could wear it in Rhinebeck.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'll have it done by then for sure. I could wear it with this.
You could, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do
Yeah.
you remember when we went to Cincinnati and went shopping and we both ended up, like we spent hours shopping down there and we came back with one thing. It was a tank top and I think we both got the same one in the same color. Is it this color?
Yeah. It's pretty much, it's very similar to this. I have it on actually under this. But yeah,
okay.
yeah, so
Of course you remember it, then
anyway,
you're
of
wearing
course
it.
I do. So anyway, yeah, pretty much wearing, this is the pattern. It's a great pattern. I'm loving the yarn. It's discontinued though.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's a darn shame.
I like it. And I'd like it to be done here soon because I've been working on it for a really long time.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Darn it anyhow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a whip and it is The Framed by Andrea Mowry. So Rick and I we flew to New Hampshire for the weekend and we had 2 flights, so from Dayton to Charlotte, and then we had a layover, and then Charlotte to Manchester, New Hampshire. And there was a lot of knitting time. So we were visiting cousins who Rick hadn't seen in years and years and years, and it was so cool for him to be able to catch up with them. But they were looking at old family photos, and when I say old, I mean like generations back from when cameras were first taking photos. They had some of the photos from way back then. And so they were sitting around the table talking about that, and I was in a different room just sitting and knitting, and I could hear them talking, but there wasn't really room for me to be there, and it was, anyway, so I got a lot of knitting time while they were all having their conversations and getting caught up, and it was wonderful. So here is my framed sweater. So I did do a modification. Look at that gorgeousness. I blocked it last night so I could show you guys, and to make sure that it was going to be long enough. So the front is done. The back, I still have short rows to do. I've got it all on barber cords right now. So here's the front on the yellow barber cords, and then the back is on this green one. But I decided to steek it, and so I could do it in the round rather than knitting flat. And because we were only gone Friday morning? Yeah, because I was at Zincs on Thursday, right? Yeah. Friday morning, until we came back last night, we only took carry-ons, and so I couldn't take my really good scissors.
Mm-hmm.
So I only had those scissors that look like you would give to a kindergartner, so TSA wouldn't take them away. But I ended up steeking it, cutting it with those scissors, and I just pulled it really tight, to make sure that I was sticking them up in there. Anyway, I'm loving it. It looks really good, and I still have the sleeves to do. So the yarn I'm using is Bare Naked Wool's Better Breakfast, and this one, Claudia was talking about a Rhinebeck purchase. So this was from Rhinebeck. Janet, aren't you using this right now on something? You just said, I think.
No, I'm not using it.
You just finished it. Wasn't that
No.
Better Breakfast?
No.
Did
No,
you-
I haven't started using mine yet.
Oh, okay. What did you use on your pressed flowers?
That was the Kelborn Woolen
Kelborn
Scout.
Woolens.
Yes.
Okay. So I am using Kelborn Woolen Scout on this as well. So my background color is that. I knew there was something you were using that I was using. It's like, so the Scout, and this color is Wheat Heather. So here it is. It's very golden, beautiful. So then the color work is done with Stacy Charles, Tina, and you can see that this is like it almost looks like an I-cord. I actually think it is I-cord construction. The colorway of this one is Bonfire. And so I think it's knitting up really nice. This is about as soft as, isn't that crazy soft?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they call that chainette.
Chainette,
Yeah.
Chainette, yes.
Well, it's not blown, but it's definitely,
Chainette.
it does look like an I-cord. It's like, if you knit an I-cord, that's kind of how they look all the way around. So I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
But when you knit with it, you don't see that chainette anymore. So I did all mine in a DK. It's a worsted weight sweater, but I didn't want the weight of a worsted weight complete color work body sweater. I just thought that would be a little too warm. So I got gauge in DK. So if you haven't started it yet, you could consider that, because it worked out. It worked out nicely, and even blocked. I mean, it looks fine. And it's funny, I wasn't sure I liked it, but man, on camera you can really see.
Yeah, you can tell that.
It really shows up, right? So very happy with that. Do you have another whip?
I do.
Okay, good.
I have the Diggly Dell. And I was really actually hoping I would get it to the point where I had the body done, but I didn't. I'm in between colors, so I don't have anything on it. So
Oh, but you're making good
Oh my
progress.
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do. So I have to do another navy and the pink, and then I'll bind off. I'll do the ribbing in the navy, but it's coming along, and I've tried it on a few times, and I just love it. I love the colors. It fits well, although I'm not the best sometimes at reading the whole pattern because I was supposed to be doing increases for my butt, for my hips.
Oh,
And
do you
I
need them?
Well, maybe. But it's fine. It actually is fine. It fits nicely, and so whatever. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
I've done that too, where you finish with your sleeve separation, and then you just start netting,
Yeah.
and then you go back to your pattern, and it's like, oh, there was like some shaping or some of the
Yeah.
things you were supposed to do.
Yeah. That's what happened with that. So, whoops. So anyway, but some of the projects that I've seen, the V-neck, it is a really deep V-neck, so it comes about down to here. But for now, and then of course it'll probably end up about the same as this once I do the ribbing.
So does she have the ribbing like the Daily Pullover by Paula Pereira?
Yeah.
I think so, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect then.
So, yeah. And I know I've talked about the sleeve definition and the way she does it. It makes it look like a set-in sleeve, but it's not.
It's beautiful.
It is really pretty, so.
I'm so glad
Yeah.
you decided to do 3 stripes. It
Yeah.
just makes it look so good.
And it's, my sister looked at it and she goes, well, that color's bright. And I'm like, yep. So anyway.
Yeah, but you like bright colors.
Yeah, it is like for
Good.
summer. Who doesn't like
Yeah.
some beautiful bright colors?
And I know her pattern was short sleeve, but I think I'm making mine 3/4 length, just so it'll be more of a fall type sweater. So
Well, you've got plenty of yarn.
I have plenty of yarn. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have had one skein of this, and I still have a bunch left. And so I will be fine when it comes to doing the sleeves. And I think this is my first skein of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So. Okay.
And that's linen quill, right?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Linen quill in the colorway Pink Pop. And then I'm using the navy blue as whole scarn super soft in the colorway Indigo.
Man, that's pretty.
It is pretty. And then this is the Zen Yarn Garden Serenity 20 in the colorway Flower Power. So, yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
All right, so I finished a couple sweaters, so I needed to start another couple whips. So the first whip is the Oaksa by Caitlin Hunter.
Oh, another Caitlin.
Yeah, loving her sweaters. So it's just a very small beginning, but this is the neckline. And here's what the yarn looks like. So it is a worsted weight pattern, and this is the Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, and the colorway is Homemade Sham. So I'm really excited to be working with this Brooklyn Tweed
So
Shelter.
is it solid, the whole body solid?
No, it's a beautiful. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the ranunculus because it has the pattern in the yoke,
Nice.
and then that's pretty much it. But so stay tuned.
At least
for
you got
that in the
started.
future. Got that on the needle, so I'm really excited.
Wow. Okay, I guess you haven't made any changes to it, right?
Correct.
All right. There's probably not much more to say about it then.
Yeah, it's a size 40.
All right. So the next one that I have is the Cumulus blouse, again by PetiteKnit. So I talked about the trip we went on, and I was really struggling to figure out what I was going to take because I knew I would get to the point on the frame sweater where I would either need to steek to pick up sleeves, and I was afraid I wouldn't have the guts to do that while I was on the trip, or I wouldn't sitting around talking because we were visiting. I mean, I wasn't knitting the whole time, but I wanted to be able to work on things that I could knit and chat at the same time. So I cast on another Cumulus blouse and actually got quite a bit done on it because of the flights yesterday. And car riding from one place, one town to another to visit all the people. Boy, I kind of have a little bit of a mess. So here's where I am with it. Look at the colors in this. Oh, I just love that. So what I'm using to get those beautiful colors is La Bien-Aimee, Cashmerino. Oh boy, my cake is just falling apart and it'll just have to be that way. It is the Cashmerino in the colorway Le Grand Nuage. And here is the label. And then if I didn't pronounce it right, there is the name. But the color, it's very gray with purple and turquoise specks all through it. And I had purchased last year, I think from Wool Warehouse, this gorgeous lavender Rowan felted tweed. You know what? I said Wool Warehouse, and it might be, what is that place that's in Chicago where your sister close to? Oh, KidSilk Haze.
And I said, that's not felted tweed.
No, sorry. Rowan KidSilk Haze, not felted tweed. And the colorway of this is Serenity, number 677. So together, I thought that this would be okay over top of the gray, and it is. It doesn't mute the colors very much at all. What's the name of that? Is it
I
wool?
honestly can't think of it.
Wool, something wool. It's
Wool
the
and Company.
Wool and Company. So maybe that's where I got it, and not Wool Warehouse.
Yeah, Wool and Company has a lot of. They're a great place to buy from on the internet.
Yeah.
Sure.
So anyway, I'm making headway. I tried it on a couple of times, and same thing as the other. I stopped well before I was done with the increases per pattern. I'm kind of doing the 43, so I cast on for the 43, and when it got deep enough, I separated for sleeves, and I'll do the same. I'm doing the same needle size. Everything is pretty much the same. I just love the way this feels. That Cashmerino is super nice, and I had 2 skeins of it, so I thought, what the heck, why not just go for it, right?
Very pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of more Janet's color than mine, but it looks good on me. So because it's kind of, it reads a little bit gray with, you know, that purple hint of purple.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all I have to say about that one.
Well, it's pretty.
All right.
So my next one, and this is my last one for today, is called the Kylie Pullover by Irene Lynn. And I am knitting in the size 2, and the yarn that I'm using, oops, wrong one. I don't know. Holy moly, what have I got going on in
You're
here?
attached to this one. You might be attached
But
to
what's,
both
why
of
am I
them.
attached to both of them?
Oh, you're not. That
I'm
one is not. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, so I haven't really made any progress on this because I've been concentrating on getting this done. But if you didn't see it before, I decided I'll show it again. And oh my gosh, it is so gorgeous. I can't wait to get it finished. And I'm doing the size 2 it's a very oversized sweater. And let's see. So circumference is the smallest size is has a body circumference of 48.
Holy moly.
Right, and I'm knitting the 51s.
So it's very drop shoulder?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this yarn is the Purl Soho Serif. Is that Serif? In the colorway Gray Birch, and it's 100% cotton, and it is the absolute softest yarn. And cotton, I can't even believe it. Let's see if you can. There you go. And it is just so soft and silky and shiny, which is kind of why I thought it would be really pretty in this pattern. So hopefully I have more time to work on it.
That is gorgeous. We fell in love with it. Absolutely, we did.
Yeah, they love the yarn, so everybody bought some when it was all on sale. So I think that's all I really have for as far as whips go.
Okay. So I have one more whip that I just started.
Another one?
Yeah, and it's the Flax Sock by Tin Can Knits, aka Caitlin Hunter.
No, Tin Can
Is this
Knits.
one's not the same?
No,
Well, I
Tin
know
Can Knits is Tin Can Knits.
Oh, okay. So never mind that.
Boyland Knitworks, that's what the that's
Oh,
what it
okay.
is. Yeah.
So this is Tin Can Knits, not Caitlin Hunter. So this is my little flax sock. This is the neckline. And the size I'm making on this is the 1 to 2 years old. This is for my grandson, he's only 5 months, but he's in the 9 months already. So, so anyway, the yarn that I'm using is the Knit Picks Brava Sport, which is 100% acrylic, but it's just a pleasure to work with. It's extremely soft. And so here's what we have so far. Very small. I'm using a US 3 and a US 1 on this.
Oh, wow.
So it's just small. The gauge on this is 24 stitches, so it's not too bad, but
Well, it'll be a tiny
it's
sweater.
It'll be a tiny little cute sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be so,
So
cute.
I'm
on
excited
here.
on this.
It's
Been wanting to do this for a long time.
So were you going to do the stuff down the sleeve,
Yes.
the texture?
I will be doing that.
That'll be so cute.
The texture on the shoulders, yes, and on the sleeves.
So I knit one of those for Braxton when he was a brand new baby. I think I did it before he was born, and I knit it out of like fingering weight. You know, because that sweater, doesn't it have like different weights that you
Yeah,
can
this
knit
was
in?
the sock, the flax sock, which is fingering / sport weight. So
Yeah.
mine is a sport.
So it was so tiny. It was like, oh my gosh. And she had I think it's still on my Ravelry page, the picture of him wearing it as a newborn. I mean, he was just all floppy and like so snuggly down in it. You couldn't hardly tell.
Yeah.
So while you were looking at that, I pulled up the Madeline sweater by Pernille Larson, and that is Knitting for Olive. And I'll have a picture of it up here. So I don't have it started, but Janet and I both fell in love with it. And we both bought Drops Bell to make this. I have no idea if that's going to happen this year or not, because as you can tell, I'm kind of already way into like fall knits. I haven't stopped buying summertime yarn, but
All right, me neither.
and I haven't really stopped knitting with it. But I don't know. I may be able to work my way through that. But I wanted to highlight that pattern. I just think that is such a gorgeous all over lace sweater. And I think that like yours from Caitlin Hunter that you're talking about doing in cotton, I just think it would be so good to have a long sleeved cotton sweater. I have a store-bought one that every time I wear it, people always ask, did you make that? When did you make that? You guys have even said that with that gray one.
Oh, right.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
when did you make that? I'm like, no, I didn't. I bought it. But I want one that I made. So I think this one is going to be even prettier. And I think everything that Knitting for Olive, all those patterns are really well written and pretty great. So I'm sure that it's going to be awesome. There are only 18 projects of that out there yet, because maybe because it's all lace. I'm not even sure. But anyway, that was a purchase recently.
Cool.
Do you have more?
Well, I don't have any more whips, but I did purchase a pattern that I'm excited about. Stromboli by Caitlin Hunter.
Well, this is almost the Caitlin Hunter show.
Almost, and it's just gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I was
it
looking at that too.
Yeah, and she had a sale, so I bought it, and haven't exactly decided what I want to knit it out of, but I'm kind of thinking I might want to do a fall winter sweater and make it long sleeve. She has it kind of a short sleeve just above the elbow.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's gorgeous. It has lots of cables and lace and
That would be
Beautiful.
pretty with structure too. It looks like she made it in something flowy.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, I will put a picture up there. So
Yeah.
you'll see what we're talking about.
Yep.
So any yarn, anything coming up?
Yeah. Do we want to talk about our?
Yeah, we want to talk about our lethos and what
Yeah.
we're going to use for those.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so the three of us all bought yarn last year at Rhinebeck, and we all bought the same type of yarn, the Studio Donegal yarn, but we all picked different colors. So
Yeah. And then I'm changing from the colors that I picked because there's a project and there's a picture. That I just fell in love with, and so I kind of changed it up and used some of my stash yarn that I've been wanting to use. And so here, I'll just show you real quick. So, and mine's going to be very similar to the one in the picture because I have this rust color, and then here's a green that I'm going to use, and then the neck is going to be in the super soft, not the
No,
super soft,
soft Donegal.
Soft Donegal, and that's going to be the neck, or around the neck in the ribbing. And then I have some off-white I'm going to use as well. And I think down the back is going to be the green.
Oh, that'll be beautiful.
Yeah, so I've been going back and forth because this was the color I was initially going to do the body in, was this. But then I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's so unique. So I decided I had all the colors that I needed, so I might as well do it with that. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
To get
so
it
is
started.
this the color you're selling to Terry? You're
Yeah.
selling her that yarn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Then I need to give her the red and this light gray, not the dark gray, because she'll already have plenty of that.
Yeah.
She'll need the contrast color.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. Okay, so your colors are
Right. So I'm using the original ones that we purchased
Good
last
idea.
year.
I'm glad somebody.
So I'm using the same exact color as what Tammi is wearing for her main,
For the background.
for her background color. That's what this is, and I'm going to use that also for the background. And then for the back, the middle back, I have this absolutely gorgeous purple,
That's gorgeous.
purple color. Let's see what color it is. Doesn't doesn't give you a color. It's 2BC 5531.
Okay.
So that's not real helpful.
I think it's probably something like grape or purple because my red is red and the dark gray is charcoal.
And then the other color, I'm using this beautiful blue.
Gorgeous.
So I think it's gonna look really pretty. So it's the same deal where it just gives you these numbers. 5519 maybe.
Probably light blue.
So, right?
Yeah.
So there's a limited number of different color variations for the Studio Donegal. Here's what the tag looks like. I know you saw it earlier. But just to see it again. And, you know, they maybe have 20 colors, 25, something like that. So, love it. And I can't wait to start working on it.
Yeah.
Like Tammy's. It really softens up.
So my next one that I'm going to do for the knit along are these three colors. So Claudia, what is this yarn?
That is the tacky.
Ah,
Do-
okay, tacky
tweed.
Donegal tweed.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got all these, oops, get Janet's face out of there. Okay, all those speckles in it. This is from Blarney Woolen Mills. And Rick and I were in Ireland a few years ago, and I bought a bag of 12 skeins of this same yarn in a blue color.
Navy blue, yeah.
And it is so gorgeous. But so I was thinking that I was going to do my next one in that blue color and then borrow some of Janet's light blue for a highlight. But what I decided was these three colors. So where my main body is going to be the dark gray with all those blips of color, and where these welts are, I intend to do gold on the two outside welts and white on the inside, and then white on the slip stitch color work here that I have in charcoal on this one. And so I'll do the same thing on these welts. But I'm so excited. So I've already gauge swatched, and I got gauge. It's exactly the same gauge as I did on the other yarn. But you can see even all those colors show up so well. It's not just dark gray. So it'll be so very different from what I have on right now. And honestly, who doesn't love a nice warm cardigan in the wintertime? Or fall.
Beautiful
I
one.
mean,
At
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I just love that pattern.
Everything about this was so much fun. There were so many things that were brand new to me. Like I had never knit anything from starting at the cuff up to the center and then starting on this cuff up to the center and then doing something. I mean, it's just a 3-needle bind off, so don't be freaked out by that. Her instructions are so good. There are video links through the entire pattern, so you are not you're not going to have problems. Oh, I didn't talk about this. This is Peace Fleece worsted, the cream color. And boy, I've had this in my stash for a couple of years. So I bought the gold off of Claudia, bought 12 more skeins of that Blarney Woolen Mills, and
I probably should say what I have too.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, because I didn't say that. So this is the tacky in redwood. The tacky tweed, Donegal tweed in redwood, and I love all the little specks of color in it. This is the Gilsk tweed, and this was knit double, so that will.
You held it double to.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
I held
could
it
get
double
gauge.
so I could get gauge. Yeah. And then this, of course, is the soft Donegal. And the gray charcoal, I guess, is the colorway.
Now she used a little bit of white in hers too, or a very light cream color. Are you going to do that as well?
Yeah. Exactly. This was, and so this is, and I'll have to hold this double as well. So this is Amble, the fiber company, Amble Wandering Souls. So I think that will work. And that's just sort of, so on the cuff is going, the ribbing is going to be in this. And then my welts are going to be, the outside welts are going to be in this green, and then the inside in this white. And then some of the slip stitches I think are going to be in white, and down the back is going to be green.
And then the body is going to be in the charcoal.
And
no, I mean rust.
And the rust.
Yep,
body's
sorry. Rust.
rust. And all of the ribbing is going to be in the dark gray.
That is just, well, you saw the picture that we put up at the beginning when she was talking about it. It is just so beautiful.
Yeah, I've been eyeing it for a long, long, long time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got all those colors. What should I do? What should I do?
Yeah.
And somebody said, well, you may not get as much wear out of it. And I'm like, oh well. And then I'll have to make another way.
I'm not even worried about sitting down and doing it again, you know? And those colors are so you.
Yeah, they're perfect.
It's going to go with so many things.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
You get a pair of winter white pants and you can wear any of those colors.
Yeah,
and you have all those colors. So no
actually,
worries.
you know what? I have a little tee I bought from. No, anyway, doesn't matter.
That matches that color.
About that color.
Yeah,
So.
and then it's got all the speckles in it too. So. I do, before we move on, I do want to just do a shout out. So when we were traveling last weekend, of course, I looked for a yarn shop, and so we stopped in the Elegant U, and here is their logo. I'll hide Janet's face there. And I picked up these two beautiful skeins of yarn while we were there. So they're both by Making Tracks. It's 100% American wool, and these were made in White River Junction, Vermont. So, you know, once you get up in the Northeast, all those states are tiny little places. So Vermont and New Hampshire are so close together. But for Christmas last year, Janet, was that last year or the year before? You know what? It might have been.
Last year.
Was it last year? Mm-hmm. Janet gave both of us
it was 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah.
These little bundles of, they're either 5 or 10 gram mini skeins of worsted weight in blues and beiges and creams. And I thought I would look for some kind of a colorwork sweater where I can use this, but I can also add in some of those above and below.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, to be able to utilize this. And I know that this is going to be gorgeous because Janet just finished the Alpine Bloom sweater by Caitlin Hunter again, not too long ago. And she used colors very similar to these in it. So I know that these will be beautiful in a sweater. And then I got the gold and the green because, man, I love gold and I love green. And I figure I have a bunch of this kind of mossy green, and it's darker than this, but like enough darker that all of this will make sense. And I ended up somehow buying 3 10-packs of it. And Mrs. Terry has one of them, remember, for her pressed flowers. And so now I've got 2 10-packs left, and I did try to make a sweater for Rick out of it. It didn't work out. It was like, it's superwash, and I thought I was getting gauge, but something about it was just a little gonna be way big on him. So I have plenty of that yarn. I frogged that, and I may knit something with this and that together, because I think that'll make this really jump out and be beautiful. And then Janet and I also, because Claudia bought Serif, and we loved the feel of it. It's 100% Pima cotton. She and I both got this when Purl Soho was having a sale, and we ended up buying enough to do something each. We each bought some, and so I don't know if Claudia showed the twist on that, but oh my gosh, it's soft like a bunny.
Yes, it is.
Right?
It is very much so.
All right, are we done? It feels like we've talked forever.
I think we've talked forever. They're probably tired of hearing it. They want to see us drink.
That's right. Tasting delicious wine.
Well, then let's do it.
All right.
Today we have a beautiful bottle. It's
It
beautiful
is.
Rosé Cru from, I call it JNSQ, but Tammi read this on this little label.
Oh, it's a little label that was hanging around it.
Yes.
And it says balanced, refreshing, and fabulous. This rosé is California born with a French accent. Inside every collectible bottle, you'll find attitude, style, and a certain je ne sais quoi that's hard to define and impossible to resist, kind of like you. And that's evidently those 4 words. Je ne sais quoi is what the JNSQ stands for.
Wow.
So, and it's really look at the picture on the front of it. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. She's at the beach.
Yeah, well,
Here,
I'll
here, I
take
don't know
a
if you
picture
can
of
see
it.
it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I'll get up and show you
I could have
guys.
did that too.
It's like we're at the beach.
Yeah.
And maybe we want to be at the beach. I don't know. Although it's awfully hot at the beach.
It would be right now.
So on a nice hot day like today, this
It's very, very,
It just-
very refreshing. You get pineapple. A little bit of pineapple, maybe strawberries.
Yeah.
strawberry is what I'm tasting. Yeah, very strawberry-y.
All those.
So this is among the 6% of the wines at JNSQ. And this vintage rate's higher than any other, whatever. Any other one that for this year. But it does say that a lot of people have said strawberry, watermelon, and cherry
Oh, yeah.
are the 3 fruitiest notes here. Other
Maybe it
people
is.
say melon, apple, and apricot.
Nobody said
citrus.
pineapple yet.
No.
Except me.
Citrus, lemon zest, and lemon. And it's on the middle scale between light and bold. It's right in the middle. It's a little more on the dry side than sweet, and it's a little more on the acidic than soft.
It's really good. It's really good. You know what would be good? I feel like blue cheese would
Oh.
be really good with this.
That would be good. I have blue cheese. I just bought a wedge.
And somebody says, "Oh, this reminds them of champagne without the bubbles." That's kind of a good
Oh. Huh.
thinking about it. It's just very fruity, very light, very tasty.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But you're right. Blue cheese, it would be good with that. Even some of those hard cheeses.
Yeah. Just seems like
Yes.
something salty and creamy would
Yeah.
be yum.
Yes. So it's the average price on this is $35.69. So it's not one of your inexpensive rosés, but very, very.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of that you're paying for that gorgeous bottle.
I was just gonna
Yeah, this
say
bottle's
that.
really beautiful.
That bottle
so,
is
yeah, this will be
gorgeous.
nice to keep.
Look at the little rose on the top.
Yeah.
Is that like
Plastic?
plastic or silicone?
It's
or...
Yeah, it's
What?
like a plastic,
Yeah.
and then it has the glass cork.
Really pretty. Really nice.
We'll have to see if that fits other bottles. That would be a really good stopper if you ever had wine left in your bottle.
True.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. What's that? I do. Actually, I do.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, if you open a bottle, you
I
probably
don't know.
don't drink the whole bottle. You might finish it tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
even.
Right.
I don't even open a whole bottle if it's just me anymore. I do have that Corvin, and so sometimes if I'm like, I just feel like a glass of wine, so I'll have that. But I kind of I'm into some bourbons right now too.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, a Corvin is a thing with pressurized gas that's got a needle that goes down into the cork,
Through the
right
cork.
through the cork, and you can pour through it into a glass, but it fills that the gas will fill the bottle back up so that the wine doesn't go bad. It's just like you've never opened it. And
Right. And generally you would use it on a red wine, like an aged red wine that has a cork.
Yeah.
A lot of times for a rosé or a white, anymore you can buy the screw caps,
Right.
which are really nice too for those. But here we're probably speaking about red.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah,
red
we are.
lovers.
Yeah.
Red wine
Which is what
lovers.
we mostly drink.
Although there was a day I was in the mood for a rosé, but I didn't want to open the whole bottle, and you don't even have to take like the aluminum off of it from the outside, so I didn't, and I'm pushed down to open it.
It was a screw cap.
No, it was glass.
Oh no!
And so my needle, it's a really tiny needle. It's very fine, and so of course it broke the needle. I'm like,
oh wow.
what? That was the first time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
There's one other wine, red wine. Is it Crosscheck? It's the one with the hockey player on the front of the bottle that has a glass cork in it, and you have to be careful because sometimes we'll just use a wine opener right through the foil. If you don't have a foil cutter, it might be hard to get the foil off, and I've just gone right through it, and when you pull the cork off, then you can tear it off. But Crosscheck has one of those, the glass.
Oh,
It's a flat cork that goes down. It's
glass.
made a lot like this, right? And it would have. So
And
watch for those.
Well, I don't think I'll be going right through the foil anymore. I'm sure I will take the foil off.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. Fortunately, it was easy to replace the needle. So.
Yeah. Well,
So anyway, think about the Letho. Join us on our make along, and always remember, if you can't be with the wine you love, love the wine you're with. Cheers.
Very, very, very nice.
oh, that's delicious.
It drinks so nicely.
Yeah.